Welcome back to more Mario Party 4. Last time, we got through Shy Guy's Jungle Jam, so this time, we're moving on to Goomba's Greedy Gala. Whoa, let's rock this party! Welcome to Goomba's Greedy Gala. This place is the tops. Let me show you around. So hey, I had all this space and I made it into a casino. Pretty high class, no? Feel your heart pound and your nerves chitter as you lay it all on the line. Now, who's gonna go first? Alright then, Wario is first. Daisy is second. Yoshi's third. Mario's fourth. To start, you each get 10 coins. Ready to beat the odds? Games begin with the first star over here. And here we go, get to the star with 20 coins and it's yours to keep. I'll be honest, this is probably my least favorite board in the game, for a couple of reasons. One, Mario Party 4, again, does have a problem of generally being one of these slower paced games in the series. One thing I actually realized is, in some of the Nintendo 64 era games, you can actually speed up turns. You can basically set the turn, or the movement speed on the boards to actually be faster. That is not the case in this game. And I do feel like the movement speed is pretty slow in this game, and especially Mario Party 5. But this board also has a lot of interruptions, kind of dragging down the pace of each game. So I have a feeling this might be the longest board, but we'll see. Our first minigame is a 4-player minigame. And we have another round of Bob-omb breakers. So between the last board and this one, I actually did a full playthrough. I actually went through all of one character's story mode to try to unlock some more of the presents for that particular character. I actually made a discovery in this minigame that you can actually technically prevent yourself from being able to do anything in this minigame. If the blocks reach the top, you basically can't move unless someone clears out enough of the board for you to be able to bring a new piece down. So you can't like permanently lose, so that's something. But yeah, you can basically make it so you can't drop any new pieces, and then you kind of lose ground because you have to basically wait until other pieces move for you to actually bring something else in. In general, I'm not really the biggest fan of a lot of the puzzle games, generally because they're a little bit slow. I realized playing through the game again on my own time that this game does have really long minigames, and not that many. I actually looked it up, and other than Mario Party 1, this game has the lowest number of minigames, at 60 minigames. The original I think had 50, but a lot of the other games have more like 70. So yeah, this is one of the smaller games, which almost makes sense as the first GameCube one. Alright, so we're off to a good start. I also feel like my luck is really bad in Mario Party 4, to the point where I wish there was a slow star in this game, because I would definitely get it. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I have the worst dice rolls in this game. To be fair, the AI isn't doing great either. No one's even reached the main gimmick of the board yet, which is the big roulette wheel in the center. Basically, the board is divided into 4 quadrants. Each quadrant connects in some way or another, typically kind of clockwise. So if you go into the lower left quadrant, there is a mini mushroom pipe to the upper left quadrant. There's a happening space path to the upper right quadrant, and that can take you down to the starting area. So it's interesting, but it's also very luck-based, so it can be a little bit frustrating to get around the board. Again, this is kind of a low-scoring game. Look, someone finally made it after, what, the end of 2 turns. If it lands on a star, you get 20 coins, and you can also pick which direction you want to go. You can also bribe Goomba with up to 20 coins to increase your odds. I never do that, though, because it doesn't really help, and also you're spending coins that you could use on a star. Another 1v3. We've been getting so many 1v3s, and we're already getting a lot of repeats. Again, it really doesn't feel like there's a ton of minigames in here. One thing worth mentioning if you're playing against a human player is you can actually see where you're stopping as the camera's panning out, so you don't really want to stay in one spot for too long, unless you want to try to psych out the other player. Oh, that's not a good start. Well, at least it was just me and not everyone. So yeah, off-screen I've actually been trying to unlock some of the other presents for other characters on my personal file. This personal file hadn't really had much progress in a long time. I'd done one playthrough apparently like 2010, and then got partway through a playthrough more recently as I was thinking about working on this playthrough. So now I'm trying to kind of pick up the pace a little bit and actually get all the presents unlocked, which is not great. So, the problem with 1v3s, which we've had a lot of, is we're giving a lot of coins to our rivals, which is not my favorite thing. Mario went the right way, so comparatively it was better that he didn't get coins. But then again, the other 2 could easily reach the blue path anyway. So yeah, you can pay off Goomba to try to increase your odds, but I actually find that a lot of times I'll get the star and I can pick a direction. But because of how fickle this particular board can be, it doesn't really matter, especially when you get to the blue path or the purple path. Because there's like a stretch of a ton of happening spaces to get to the star in most cases, and that will send you to the opposite quadrant. Very often, you don't see a lot of stars on this board, because you get to the end of the board, and you either get the star, barely, because you have to roll pretty high to get past like 3 happening spaces in a row, or you get sent to the other quadrant, and you just go back and forth. Which is another thing I actually thought about that I don't really care for in this game. So far, we've seen 3 boards. A lot of the boards have the same problem, structurally. Not just the aesthetics of them being somewhat, not as interesting because of just being like floating pathways above an actual backdrop, but the actual board layouts themselves tend to be a little bit, circular, for lack of a better word. Welcome to the roulette, where you'll go, nobody knows. If nobody's looking, slip me some coins and I just might get you closer to the star. What do you say, you want to pay me to stop it? Me, I like guarantees, but hey, it's your choice. I figured that you were playing to win. Now start the roulette. Could have been worse. At least we could make it over to the other side if we end up getting a happening space, which we kind of want anyway for the happening star. But yeah, the problem with the Mega Mushroom is it will definitely get you past where you need to be, usually, unless you roll like a 1 and a 2. But then you miss the star, so it's kind of a trade-off. Like if Mario had rolled a little bit less, he would have gone past the happening spaces, but not have gone past the star as well. There's also one more gimmick that's also kind of a pace breaker. We'll see that next turn. One... I was going to say there was one minigame there that we hadn't seen yet, but I decided to stop myself because I am prone to jinxing. Even then, we're still playing Avalanche again. I also feel like, comparatively speaking, yeah, the length of the minigames also makes them feel a lot less interesting. Like, there are some games where the minigames are like 10 seconds. These are pretty involved in a lot of cases, so the overall, yeah, flow of of each round does feel a little bit slower. It really isn't the best sign that we're already getting a lot of, like, minigame roulettes that have no new minigames, and this is the third of 6 boards. Alright, so that means Wario will get past the happening spaces, but he also still needs to get... Oh, that was a perfect roll. If he wins this minigame, which, let's hope it's not a team game or a coin collecting game, he is in a good spot to actually get that star. So yeah, in general, Mario Party 4 really isn't a favorite to a lot of fans, I'd say. Again, the main reason I think I like it as much as I do is it was my first Mario Party, but partly just because I did a full playthrough the day before recording this particular board. I'm kind of starting to notice its issues a little bit more. Also, this is the other main mechanic. So in each quadrant, there's a dice roll game. If you roll higher than Goomba, you get 10 coins. If you roll lower than Goomba, you go back to start. There are times when you want to go back to start, like if the star is not in your quadrant and there's no easy way to get over there. Most of the time, though, the 10 coins is just a nice little bonus. Alright, so we're over here. That's a good roll to try to get around this quadrant a little bit faster. Typically, I end up in one quadrant and stay there for the entire rest of the game. And yeah, unless you get into the quadrant with the shop, your odds of actually getting a star aren't great. So I'm pretty sure these spaces are also skipped using a Mega Mushroom, so considering Mario would want to stay here because of getting the star, this is actually a good play to get around Goomba, or he could just go the other way. Sometimes the AI is extremely perplexing in this game. It will just do things that are completely unexpected. Okay, I'm okay with that. Team Treasure Trek. This one is going to be a thing. So basically, we have 2 treasure chests on opposite sides of our starting area in this huge maze. We have to find them and then reach our teammate. Daisy found hers, I found mine, so this is... I was going to say that that looked pretty locked in, but sometimes AI can get really lost. I didn't think Daisy had actually caught up to me that quickly. Daisy is in the red quadrant, so she doesn't have a great shot at the star. Our best hope right now is that Wario goes back to start, because he is actually in range to get the star. For me, my best bet is to try to land on the happening space, which unfortunately is past Goomba. Or if Mario decides to just... Wait, Mario went through the downward path, so yeah. Our best shot is going through the happening space. That's good for us, because that means 1, Wario doesn't get coins, and 2, he's all the way back here, so he's pretty far away. One other thing I noticed when I was trying to go through the story mode on my own time is the AI will use a magic lamp no matter what if they have the coins. Including if they're literally 2 spaces away from the star anyway. So that was an interesting thing to actually learn, that the AI is actually set up to basically use the magic lamp regardless of if they could get the star without it, which is technically a better play because then you're locked into another star. So we have a battle minigame for 20 coins. Daisy gets to pick, so let's hope for the best. It's worth mentioning that there were only like 6 battle games, so yeah, we've been seeing this one quite a bit. Again, I can't really complain because I actually like this minigame. Picked the wrong path, but again, we're playing against easy AI, we can easily make up the time. Right now, no one's close to the star, so I'm not really concerned with who gets second place. Later Mario parties would actually change it, so the third place person would also get a smaller amount of coins. But yeah, the early Mario parties, only the top 2 get coins, unless there's an odd number, and then the remaining coin ends up going to one of the other 2 players, which sometimes happens. Looks like Wario or Daisy are... Actually, Mario looks like he caught up to Wario. Not that it really matters. One other thing I discovered that is in circumstances where you have an uneven number of coins being submitted, you can actually lose coins. I actually lost several coins in the battle minigame because I was the only one who put money in.